This is a message from your guides reading for Still Awakening. Okay, so I have 4 crystals here. I'm going to go ahead and surround us in some protective space. And I'm going to use my Jasper Pyramid. Okay, I think your guides are surrounding you in the space. You've got some guides coming up, or a guide coming up. Wow, I think that's just one guide. That's a lot of energy. Okay, and then I have these 3 other crystals here, and all of these are throat chakra crystals. I have my sodalite, turquoise, and then I have blue aura quartz. All of these are throat chakra stones. And so I don't even need to get into what those are about, really, because I know for you it's pretty obvious why I ended up with all these throat chakra stones. But then I have this one here that is definitely not throat chakra, that's more the lower chakras. I don't think I've ever felt this guide with you before. Definitely. I'm sure that I haven't. This is a really intense energy. I don't know, maybe I have felt this before and I'm just feeling it more intensely. Because it's been a while since your guides have come up in a way where they were like actually revealing themselves. Obviously, I always communicate with your guides during your readings, but it's been a while since I've actually felt them in a way where they were trying to get across what type of energy they were. So maybe I have felt this guide and I'm just not really remembering, and they're coming in a much more intense way. But this is definitely a master guide coming up, and he's male and he's definitely extraterrestrial. And he is cleansing you. I think you have more than one master guide around you. Because I think I might have met a master guide with you before. I think maybe there's more than one master guide coming in now. And they're not really saying anything yet. They're just here with their energy really intensely. And I'm really, really, really feeling my sacral chakra. That's probably the reason that I pulled this as well. There's something with the sacral, and this is actually linked to the throat chakra. There's a feeling like some of the issues are sourced at the throat chakra, but then it actually feels like some of them are sourced in the sacral chakra. And there's a feeling like the things in the throat chakra are actually mostly like a byproduct to things going wrong with other chakras, especially lower chakras, or mostly all lower chakras, I would say. And that's where most of the imbalances have been. And then just because of the things that the throat has to do with, you've ended up with issues there, but it's not really about the throat chakra. It feels like it's sourced somewhere else. I feel like with the sacral, because I remember your guides were saying you can't really attack the throat chakra directly because it's not really sourced at the throat. Um, so that was the reason that like meditations about the throat chakra, blah, 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 about the throat chakra were not really working for you. But there's a feeling that with the sacral chakra, it would be good to actually directly attack that, to directly do meditations involving the sacral chakra and focus on pulling energy into that chakra. I would even use like a crystal to do this, where you focus on pulling energy in to your sacral chakra from a crystal. I feel like even like a quartz, just regular quartz crystal would work well. Or if you have any kind of orange crystal even just laying around, or yellow or red. But I feel like quartz could work. I don't feel like this should be like a really, really small crystal either, because I feel like it needs to contain a little bit more energy. It doesn't have to be really big, um, but just a little bit bigger than the really small pocket size ones that you get for like $1 or something. I feel like it should be a little bit bigger. Especially since of what they're saying, to actually pull the energy in from it into your sacral chakra, it feels like it should kind of contain more energy. It needs to be a little bit bigger of a stone in order to do that. I also feel like you should charge the crystal. I feel like you could lay it out like by a tree or something, and even like overnight I feel like it would charge, and that you could do that like every week. But I feel like this chakra, on the other hand, I feel like this is a chakra that you should be kind of attacking with actual exercises like visualizations, meditations. I feel like it's different from the throat chakra, because I feel like a lot of things are actually sourced at the sacral chakra, and then you're having throat chakra issues, but it's really not from the throat. So this is going to help all of your other chakras. And your guides are giving me a feeling of automatic writing. And I feel like you actually channel, or that you have channeled before, and maybe you didn't realize it, maybe you wouldn't have called it channeling, but I feel like with your creativity, your creative gifts, I feel like you do channel messages, or that you have before, and that you have the potential to do that. to get messages from your guides and channel them in a creative way. But they come through a creative stream, like an artistic way. They don't come through like channeled messages like the ones that I have on my website, where, you know, my guide is saying, I'm Ezekiel Memcat and I want to say blah, 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 and I type it. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like a creative stream of messages, though. It's still messages. And I get a weird feeling that these could even wake up certain chakras. Like it could literally be an activation, but it could sound like it's something different. And it would just be because of the energy that it contained. So it would have kind of a spiritual or emotional kind of feel to it. But I don't feel like it would necessarily be like categorized as just spiritual. It would feel like something more poetic or more creative coming through. But it would, so it would be seen in more of a normal way versus like a like metaphysical way, but still I feel like it would have a metaphysical kind of energy on it, and with a message to it that would actually awaken people to spiritual things. I feel like that's there, like you have a gift for that. And I feel like as you're clearing this stuff from your throat, I feel like your gift for creativity is going to end up being used in a different way and in a more clear way. And that you're going to end up getting insight into what that is. I also get a feeling, though, that you're going to be branching off more from others. It feels like you're going to be doing this on your own. You're not going to have like any kind of creative group or people that you like work with creatively. It feels like this is something that just you're going to do. It's not going to be like with friends or ever with other people that you're using this creative skill. And I feel like you've had to back away from people to find this, and you haven't found it yet, but I feel like you're going to be in the process of that. But it feels like you've had to back away from people to be able to find that. And once you do, I feel like you'll be even further away from people energetically. You'll be more in your own space. You'll be clearer. And it feels like since you had to step away from certain people to find this, you have to continue to be stepped away from those people in order to do this, in order to implement what you found, which you haven't quite found yet. This is kind of coming in like different timelines here. I'm saying found, find. It feels like another guide just came up, I think. You have 3 master guides around you right now. You don't only have 1 or 2, you have 3, which is pretty unusual. And this has to do with the intense focus that you have right now on your spirituality and your inner growth. I feel like at least one of these is temporary. So they're more like an in and out guide. They haven't contracted with you to be your master guide, to step in at certain points all throughout your entire whole life. It just feels like they are drawn to you right now because of what you are implementing, this process that you're going through, and how you're really trying to find yourself. Okay, so I went a little bit over, but um, I also took a little bit of time at the beginning to connect to your guides' energies. So that is all that your guides have to say for now for this reading. Thank you very much, Still Awakening, for allowing me to do another one. And I look forward to the next one. Thank you very much. Namaste.